Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we are playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one's a community cast sent in by Stratovarius, and he's playing against Xiphos, which is not an easy one to fight. Xiphos is very, very good. Yeah, if you're aware of the tournament scene, you're aware of Xiphos. He's a good player, for sure. So Stratovarius has work cut out, especially because look at this lovely vista. You're in the White Tower of Hoeth, which is always lovely. And what's this? Rats of unusual size? That's right, he's playing Skaven against High Elves, which personally I always prefer to be the High Elves in this matchup. Always. But he's got some fun stuff going on. So he has Gutter Runners with poison, he has Clanarats with spears and shields, Plague Monks, he has plenty of Rat Ogres here, that armor piercing, definitely useful, and he has 3 Plague Claw Catapults, which is an obscene amount of Plague Claw Catapults, I love that. Also, Tretch Craventail, very stocky, very hard to kill. He's, yeah, 70 melee defenses. It's not to be sniffed at, he's hard to take down. Very stocky indeed. Also, a Warlock Engineer, very handy. He's got Howling Warp Gale to pin down flying units. And, I mean, it would be nice to have Warp Lightning Cannons to shoot at flying units if you're going to pin them down. But, actually, Gutter Runs with Poison can do work. I mean, Sun Dragons only have something like 50 armor, so they can do work. They can really do work. So anyway, here, more Plague Monks, more Spearmen. So, a lot of cheap stuff. A lot of cheap stuff. But supplemented with a lot of things that can do a ton of damage. So a lot of things that can slow stuff down and let these guys do the work. The infantry is going to take a lot of flack from the Plague Claw Catapults. But one big reason for bringing these guys, as I'm informed, is to take out other artillery. Plague Claw Catapults, far better at counter-artillery than Warp Lightning Cannons. And if there's an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, Exhibit A, you're on a much better stead. 3 Warp Lightning Cannons, they could be shooting at the thing for hours, and it won't break. It'll take out a load of the Warp Lightning Cannons before they can really take it out. But that huge debuff to leadership from the Plague Claw Catapults, that's enough to make them break pretty quickly. And, because it just goes for the crews, and, you know, hits all over the place, big explosions, lightly armoured crew, it kills them a lot quicker. So that is very handy. So that's that army, and we're actually going to speed things up now. Because there's some hidden units, which we'll get into when they emerge. I think that's more fun that way. So here you can see 2 Flamespire Phoenixes, which I think are great against Skaven. I love them. Sometimes I bring 3. I think they are a lot of fun. And here you can see immediately the Flamespire Phoenixes are coming in to try and use their bombards to get rid of these artillery crews. He has to do something to get rid of these guys so the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower rather can keep firing. But Howling Warp Gale, pinning him down, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Not a lot of armor, 30 for the Flamespire Phoenix, which is actually less than the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower crew, to put that into perspective. So yeah, they're gonna take a huge amount of damage from the Gutter Runners with poison. So they're taking a tremendous amount of damage. And here, you can see, so are the Plague Claw Catapults. So some good hits here. These crews are getting hurt. More shots coming in. So Xiphos is really trying to get rid of these Plague Claw Catapults, because these guys aren't just good at dealing with artillery. That is not the only thing they're good at. And there's other units that he's going to want to keep safe. So this is a priority. Get rid of these Plague Claw Catapults. Unfortunately, he is taking a just staggering amount of hurt. This is not good. I mean, 3 units of Gutter Runners with poison? That is a lot of damage output. That is a heck of a lot. And that Flamespire Phoenix has been pinned down again. So he's just going to sit there and he can't avoid the damage. He's going to keep getting hit. The other one actually diving down to try and relieve the other one. It's not working so well. Yeah, he's still taking a lot of damage. Not good, not good. Now Tretch with his anti-large, he's charging in. Not a huge amount of armor piercing on Tretch, but you don't need it if you manage to get your hands on a Phoenix. It's going to take a lot of damage. So there we go. Phoenixes, really struggling right now. Not ideal. But one thing I find interesting, Rat Ogre's really nice and nearby. They could have countered the Flamespire Phoenix pretty quickly. You know, charge them in. They could have got some work done. I think that would have been nice. You know, help pin them down maybe, finish them off. But anyway, they're running away, taking a lot of damage. Some damage to the artillery crews, but it's fine. They can operate damaged. It's not really a problem. They don't get their effectiveness from being in any situation where they need their health. You know, so it's kind of fine. It does obviously mean that if you get attacked later, they'll end up routing quicker. But usually that's a good thing, because you don't really want them to just sit there and get wiped out. So, fine, I guess. I suppose. Anyway, no biggie. They weren't able to be broken by the Phoenixes, so that is huge gains for Skaven. And now you can see things in the trees are starting to move, and the Eagle Bolt Thrower is actually coming back. And he has been healed, along with the Phoenixes. That Earthblood, definitely handy, try and keep them going. But still a lot of damage on those two. So, now we'll start talking about the rest of the army. Here you can see a Mage of Life. That's where that Earthblood came from. That's all he's got. That's all he's got. That's all he needs. Because, well, he's got everything else covered in the rest of his units. Phoenix Guard. Phoenix Guard. Phoenix Guard. Now you can really see why I wanted to get rid of those Plague Claw Catapults. Those Plague Claw Catapults are going to do quite a bit of damage, I suspect. They're pretty great. And also, if we have a quick look at them, magic damage on their ammunition, see? So, little sparkly icon. Magic damage. And that will negate what the Phoenix Guard have here, this physical resistance. So, 30% damage reduction. It gets ignored. Just gets ignored. They're going to get hit hard. But Tyrion's running in, so very cavalier. But that's the sort of army that it is, you know, everything is capable on its own. So, attacking low different places, what do you counter? It's tough. It's tough to make them cool. Of course, here, that Flamespire Phoenix is nearly dead, so that's probably a good thing to start with. But still a lot of strength here. Tyrion's running in, and Tyrion is just super good. And there goes the Phoenix. There goes the Phoenix. And these Plague Claw Catapults having to split up the time a bit, because that Eagle Bolt Thrower did come back online, and it has to get taken out. It has to, because otherwise it will start whittling down these artillery pieces. And if it can do that, that's less stuff that can shoot at the Phoenix Guard once the crew is gone. So, you know, not ideal. But you can see the Phoenix Guard are taking a pretty good amount of damage. Unfortunately, Plague Claw Catapults aren't the most accurate thing in the world. So sometimes you can miss all 3 shots, and they get off scot-free, which is a shame. But anyway, over here you can see Tretch is basically on his own, fighting Tyrion. And if anyone can get through Tyrion, Tretch's crazy high melee defense, well, okay. Alright, just everything can attack him, I suppose. That would do it. That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. So, things are looking a bit iffy. That's not ideal. And yet, what I find surprising is there's still Rat Ogres here. I guess he's being cautious. I don't know if there's any more surprises. But no, this is the whole army. The army really is this small. So he could have just charged in with the Rat Ogres, bailed out Tretch, you know, fought side by side with him. Tretch could have got some good hits in. You know, with that anti-large, he could do damage against all of this stuff pretty well. But it meant that a lot of the damage would have attacked something else, and the other stuff could have done more damage. And the mass is great with the Rat Ogres. I think he needed to get them in earlier. And now they're fighting something that's anti-large. So that's not ideal either. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, you know, the Noble's an armoured target. You want the armour piercing on that too. But he could have bailed out Tretch earlier, or with the combined strike, done more damage to some of these units. And I think that was necessary. But I think he was a bit focused trying to get rid of all this stuff. You can see one unit of Phoenix Guard did have to back away because there was a Warp Lightning coming down. So he had to run away from that, make sure he didn't get hit. But it didn't hit him, but it slowed him down. That's time spent the Phoenix Guard not killing stuff. And that's more time that can be spent shooting at it. So that's pretty great. So over here, Tretch still being attacked. And of course with Stand or Die, he's going to have pretty high melee defense at 97. But if Tyrion get a feint and riposte, he's going to have equally high melee attack. So that's not ideal. So Rat Ogres really start to suffer here. But the Flamespire Phoenix also start to suffer. The other Phoenix is dead, which is pretty great. And the Catapults are still firing. Over here, this Mage of Life was in the thick of it. And they are not great in combat. They are not going to survive a long time against all this. So they've suffered horribly. That's not ideal. Not ideal for the High Elves at all. Here you can see Phoenix Guard have broken. They took so much damage on the approach that these Plague Monks are able to deal with them. So that's pretty great. That is pretty great indeed. So more shots coming in. Seeing these guys stood sideways. Beautiful chance just to get hits across them, which is nice. But it did seem to break the Clan Rat Spears too. Or at least set them up to be terrified by the Flamespire Phoenix. But look at that. Shattered. Shattered now. Phoenix Guard. So more attempts to hit them. But this is rough. This is definitely rough. These Phoenix Guard have got a pretty easy route into this pocket. And Plague Claw Catapults are running low on ammunition now. Warlock Engineer would have been great to add to one of these fights, but he's not that great in melee. And with quite a flimsy front line against stuff that is super elite, it's tough. Usually when you see a ton of Phoenixes and stuff like that, you don't see a load of Phoenix Guard, you just see Spearmen. At least that's how I always do it. So you kind of expect your Warlock Engineer to be able to just get stuck in. Here, there's not really been a safe place for him. Over here, we're going to see a Sunfang. And the unit shattered. Off you go. You can shatter now. There he goes. Insane. Absolutely insane. Now the Noble with his anti-large can go bail out Tyrion, who can fight the Rat Ogres on his own, but it's nice to get rid of the Rat Ogres sooner, isn't it? So, Again, Stratovarius is in a lot of trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble. He's pretty much run out of his front line. Stuff is coming back. But he's almost run out of ammo too. So he's running out of killing power. And he doesn't have any sort of dedicated duelists. You know, Tretch has been taken out. And he was the only thing that could really go toe-to-toe with anything. And obviously, not solo, but, you know, he can sort of fight better. So this is difficult. Tyrion, I just don't see what can stop him at this point. Like, already, right now, what can stop Tyrion? I have no idea. And everything's coming into this Warlock Engineer. Yeah, they're going to get stuck. You know, good opportunity for a lot of stuff to get in here and pin them in. Because they're stuck on all the artillery pieces. But everything's just terrifying away. Straight away. Straight away. Leadership is far too low right now. With the leadership gone, nothing's really hanging on. There's no encouragement aura keeping them safe. No, everything is breaking. And that's the beauty of a high elf build like this. You can just sort of pick a target and kill it. You know, you'll take damage from other sources, but you really can pick what you want to fight. It's dangerous. But Skaven being Skaven, everything is rallying. And here, lovely Warp Lightning doing some very good damage across the board here. These Phoenix Guard, really injured. They did get an Earthblood, but yeah, the Lightning sort of negated that somewhat. Anyway, Mage still going, Noble still going. This Phoenix somehow still going, and Tyrion still going strongly. It's not looking great, but that's the thing. You know, it's Skaven. They keep coming back. They keep coming back. This stuff is going to get enveloped in a second. Rat Ogres, you can see, are trying to get out of there. Oh my god. Equal Bolt Thrower back online again. But this stuff is going to get surrounded. It's that simple. It's the Skaven. This is what they do. So, another Warp Lightning, and you can see, not a bad place to hit them. Those Phoenix Guard taking a lot of punishment. Taking a lot of punishment. This Flamespire Phoenix finally broken, thanks to Rat Ogres, but unfortunately the Noble was able to kind of finish them off and they got terrified. Which is, oh, they're back, they're back. They're unterrified, they're unterrified. This stuff can run in again and hopefully deal with this Noble. And everything else is surrounded. These Rat Ogres got a rear charge into the Phoenix Guard, which was definitely a good idea. Definitely worthwhile. Get a good armor piercing. With a rear charge, you're a bit safer. You know, it's not like running straight into Phoenix Guard with a large unit. Nope, the nice rear charge when they're surrounded, it definitely helps. Negates a load of their melee defense, and yeah, that armor piercing damage is not to be sniffed at. So this stuff is getting surrounded and breaking. Mage has broken. Oh, Warlock Engineer is dead. Oh dear. Anyway, Phoenix Guard, another charge on the Rat Ogres, able to break them. The Noble, almost broken. Almost broken and totally surrounded. Although, can I just say, how great would this be for Sunfang? Just lovely. It's not happening though, unfortunately. Sorry to get your hopes up. Anyway, everything charging in now. Noble taking a huge amount of damage, but Tyrion's still going, and he's going to charge in. The Mage is back. The Mage is back. Some units are coming back, but barely. But a couple of units just routed, and then the rest went, oh no, people are routing, so they're routing. And then the rest have gone, oh, that guy's running away. I should flee. And, yeah, it's Skaven being Skaven, isn't it? Yeah, Skaven are doing a Skaven. It goes both ways. You know, they all run away and then they come back and envelop everything. Great. But also, they do run away. So, downside. Downside of running away is the running away bit. Yeah, valiant defeat. Valiant defeat. And it was valiant. That was awesome. I think this is a tough matchup. I think High Elves just, I mean, as you can see, they just have such great tools for dealing with the Skaven. But I just think it was superb to see, you know, the play called Catapults in action like that. Great for dealing with other artillery, and then you got no choice but to walk into the artillery. Of course, 3 of them is a gigantic investment. I'm not sure what you could have brought instead. You know, drop one of them and have 1 unit of, like, Storm Vermin with halberds. That might do it, if you could stretch that. That would be great. Just have something that can sort of defend against something like Tyrion or the Mage or the Noble, but even then a Sunfang is going to do a huge amount of work, even to Storm Vermin, so I don't know. It's just one of those matchups. It can be really tough. It can be very tough indeed, especially with quite memey armies, you know. It's one of those matchups where memey armies work, and it's kind of hard to be bitter about it, because, you know, whenever do you see Phoenixes doing work? I mean, they can be countered, as you saw, you know, just some gutter runs of poison, able to completely massacre them, so yeah. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Yeah, Stratovarius, thanks for sending this in. It's definitely interesting and nice thematic as well, you know, with the White Tower and everything. Don't know what Tretch was doing there, but it probably wasn't good. So, anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.